do that either. I want to thank you guys for being beside me because I think that if Kendall is going to compete against Chloe, she has got to do better than her best.
I will explain the gossip. Never miss this video. Please subscribe to the channel. By the time we hit part 3, Kathy has undergone a full villain origin story transformation. The once quirky Ohio dance teacher is now a full-fledged nemesis, armed with an all-new team of aggressive dance moms, polished dancers, and choreographers ready to take Abby down. Gone are the days of Kathy dragging Vivienne into lyrical solos with blank stares and glitter tutus. Now, Kathy's bringing in polished boys, acro-phenoms, and industry-grade group numbers. Her new dancers aren't just there to compete, they're there to humiliate the ALDC. And the worst part? Sometimes it works. One of Kathy's most outrageous new tactics? Planting herself right next to Abby at competitions. If looks could kill, half the gymnasium would have disintegrated. Kathy's smirks, shade, and audible gasps during ALDC routines are pure chaos and totally calculated. In one of the most iconic CADC versus ALDC clashes, Abby completely loses it over what she calls unfair scoring when one of the Candy Apples boys' routines wins over her girls. The Candy Apples bring a clean, contemporary number with a storyline about breaking free, and Abby? She sees red. She marches over to the judges' table, classic Abby, and demands to know what competition are you watching. The audience freezes. Kathy clutches her pearls, literally. The judges look like they want to crawl under the table. But Abby's not done. She rants about how her dancers had technique, emotion, lines, musicality, and everything else these judges claim they want, and that the CADC number was all tricks and no soul. But let's be real, the Candy Apples ate that day. Even Maddie blinked in surprise when the scores came out. It's a rare moment when Kathy walks away with the trophy and the last laugh. You'd think by now the dance moms would be numb to Kathy's presence, but nope. If anything, every time Kathy appears, it's like someone lit a match in a fireworks factory. Holly is usually the most composed, but even she can't bite her tongue when Kathy smugly says, "We don't need solos to prove our dancers are better." Christy's eye roll is seismic, while Melissa mutters something about how we'll see who gets the bigger applause. Kira, meanwhile, brings an entirely new level of fire. She gets in a full-blown verbal smackdown with one of the CADC moms after Kathy mocks Kalani's extensions. "You don't even have a dancer with lines like that," Kira fires back. Meanwhile, Kathy's moms are just as loud and just as ruthless. One even calls the ALDC team Abby's brainwashed little robots. Yeah, that goes over well. Kathy, in a rare move, switches things up with a full hip-hop group number featuring all her strongest boys, and it actually stuns the judges. The theme? A street-style revolution, complete with hats, attitude, and slick choreo. Even Abby can't deny the number was tight. "It's the best thing Kathy's ever put on stage," she admits, but adds, "That's still not saying much." Still, the crowd reaction is wild. It's one of the few times the CADC wins not just the trophy, but the audience. Even some of the ALDC moms admit that the energy was undeniable, though they're quick to add, "We'll come back stronger next week." In true Kathy fashion, she can't just compete fair and square. She has to throw in a few shady plays. This time, she tries to poach one of Abby's dancers after a solo. Doesn't go well. Rumors swirl that Kathy reached out to a disgruntled mom after her kid got harsh critiques from Abby. While the dancer doesn't bite, the mom definitely considers it, and the fallout back at the ALDC is explosive. Abby launches into a screaming lecture, claiming that loyalty is everything and that the Candy Apples are a joke. But behind closed doors, even Abby knows Kathy's team is evolving, and it's making her nervous. Remember that time Kathy staged a group routine that involved creepy porcelain dolls and a twisted storyline about abandonment and betrayal? Yeah, that happened. The number was visually stunning, no question, but the storyline? A little too close to home for some of the ALDC moms. The judges praised the commitment, but the symbolism was clear. This was a direct jab at Abby and her dolls, aka her students. Melissa was visibly shaken. Christy whispered, "That's just wrong." And Abby? Let's just say she stormed out of the auditorium and didn't come back until awards. That routine may not have won first place, but it definitely won most petty choreography of the year. During a high-stakes showdown, one of Kathy's lead dancers injures their ankle during rehearsal. The moms immediately accuse Abby of being too smug about it, and tensions erupt. Kathy confronts Abby in the hallway, accusing her of dancing on our misfortune. Abby denies it, but her smug smirk doesn't help her case. It leads to a massive screaming match between the moms, with Kathy threatening to pull her team from the comp. But her injured dancer insists on performing, and the drama that unfolds on stage is the stuff of reality TV legend. In a twist that had even the editors gasping, Abby accuses Kathy of stealing one of her old lyrical routines, rebranding it, and passing it off as original. Abby corners the judges post-competition with footage from a past episode, claiming that the formations, lifts, and costuming are way too similar to be a coincidence. Kathy laughs it off. So now you own the entire art of lyrical dance? But the drama is real. The judges claim they see influence, not plagiarism, but the damage is done. This is one of those moments where the audience actually turns against Kathy for once. Online forums blew up. Fans picked apart both numbers and the general consensus. Kathy crossed a line. In the final competition of this stretch, Kathy brings out a surprise that makes everyone's jaws drop. A former ALDC dancer joins the CADC group number. It's not Maddie, Chloe, or Kalani, but it's someone recognizable, and the message is crystal clear. Kathy is playing dirty. She's not just recruiting talent, she's using their ALDC past as ammunition. The number gets a standing ovation and places second, just behind the ALDC. But the bigger win? The drama it caused in the dressing room. The ALDC moms are furious that someone would switch sides like that, and Abby, for once, is speechless. Kathy struts out with her apple red lipstick, her team in tow, smirking all the way to the parking lot. In the final moments of Part 3, both teams are tied, until the final score reveals ALDC wins by one single point. The camera zooms in on Kathy's face just as the score is announced. She's crushed. She storms out before awards are finished, yelling about bias, favoritism, and cheap tricks. Abby, meanwhile, basks in the win, arms folded, as if to say, nice try. Again. But even Abby knows. The CADC isn't going away. Kathy's regrouping. She's recruiting. She's rehearsing. And she's coming back stronger than ever. Just when you thought Kathy Nesbitt-Stein and the Candy Apples Dance Center had peaked in their outrageousness, they level up again. If Part 3 showed the CADC as cunning and competitive, Part 4 proves they're not just here to rival the ALDC. They want to replace them. With new choreography, new dancers, and new drama, the Candy Apples are making it clear they're not backing down. Not now. Not ever. Kathy isn't just relying on her core team of girls anymore. She's doubling down on her all-boy squad, and it's working. In a bold move, she enters the competition with a number titled Boys Rule, Girls Drool. Yes, really, and it sends the ALDC moms into a spiral. The routine is hip-hop, high energy, and filled with attitude. Sharp isolations, synchronized flips, and literal mic drop moments leave the audience in shock. But Kathy isn't just trying to win a trophy, she's trying to make a statement. Abby watches the number with narrowed eyes and clenched teeth. It's nothing but testosterone and gimmicks, she snaps, but even her own girls seem impressed. The audience, however, they eat it up. When the number scores first place in the group category, Abby mutters under her breath, "This is a circus, not a competition." Yes, you read that right. After Kathy's boys beat out the ALDC's lyrical number, Abby goes full scorched earth and tries to get this ADC disqualified. Her reason? She claims Kathy broke a rule by entering her team in a different division category than what was listed in the program. She marches up to the front desk, file folder in hand, demanding a review. These competitions have rules for a reason, she insists. Kathy arrives just in time to hear Abby accuse her of cheating, and she is not having it. "You're just mad because your little darling's lost," Kathy snaps. The two nearly come to blows again, and it takes 3 producers to separate them. Spoiler alert, Kathy's group isn't disqualified, and Abby storms out, furious. What's worse than losing to Kathy? Losing to Kathy and finding out she's teamed up with one of your former moms. Enter Tammy, a mom whose daughter left the ALDC months ago after a brutal fight with Abby. No one expected to see her again, until she walks into the competition on Kathy's arm. The moms are shook. Melissa's jaw drops. Holly gasps. Jill looks like she's seen a ghost. Oh, we're back, Tammy smirks. And this time, we're with a team that actually supports our girls. Abby? She explodes. You're dead to me, she yells at Tammy from across the dressing room. And your kid never had what it took anyway. Of course, Kathy sits back with her signature smirk, sipping from a neon red thermos like it's tea. Kathy's next controversial move? A contemporary number titled The Monster You Made Me, featuring dancers in torn costumes, bruised makeup, and jerky zombie-like movements meant to represent girls broken by toxic dance culture. The subtext is clear. She's calling out Abby. Abby is livid. That's supposed to be me, she shouts backstage. That's how low she's going now. To make it worse, the number goes viral online. Fans are divided. Some say Kathy finally exposed the dark side of competitive dance, while others say she crossed a line using trauma as a theme. The ALDC moms? They're disgusted. Christy calls it pathetic. Holly says it was shock for the sake of shock. But Abby? She's plotting her revenge. For the first time in a long time, Maddie goes head-to-head with one of Kathy's newest proteges, a contemporary soloist named Ella who's being called the new Maddie Ziegler online. Their solos are placed back-to-back in the competition. Maddie performs a haunting, technical lyrical piece called Shattered Glass. Ella performs a fierce contemporary number titled Uncaged. And the crowd is split. Maddie's number is graceful and polished, but Ella's is raw, emotional, and fresh. When the awards come, it's Ella who places first. The room falls silent. Melissa is stunned. Abby looks like she's going to combust. Kathy jumps out of her seat, screaming, "The new queen is here." Maddie handles it gracefully, but you can tell Abby takes it personally. She rips the judges in her post-competition interview, claiming they clearly don't know what greatness looks like. Emotions boil over in the dressing room after Kathy's win. One of the ALDC moms, furious that her daughter didn't place, suggests Kathy paid off the judges. That's all it takes. Kathy storms into the dressing room and unleashes. You want to talk about fairness? My dancers are trained. They're versatile. They're real artists. Not just Abby's little robots doing the same tired lyrical every week. Jill fires back. At least our kids don't need props and dramatics to get a reaction. Suddenly, everyone's shouting. Security steps in. The producers are scrambling. It's mayhem. The episode ends on a dramatic black screen with the caption, "To be continued." As if she weren't petty enough, Kathy airs a commercial promoting her studio during the same competition Abby is attending. And it's not just any promo. It's full of not-so-subtle digs at the ALDC. "We believe in kindness over cruelty," Kathy narrates. "And we don't scream to be heard." The video shows dancers hugging, parents smiling, and a big sign that says, "Candy Apple's Dance Center," where dancers rise without the drama. The ALDC moms are furious. Abby loses it. "That is slander," she shrieks. "We're the reason you even have a show." Kathy simply replies, "And yet you keep watching." You heard that right. Kathy's daughter Vivian comes back, and this time, she's not doing a half-hearted zombie shuffle. She's doing a comedy jazz solo, and she actually commits. The number titled "I Don't Dance, But I'll Try Anyway" is full of quirky moves, exaggerated facials, and crowd-pleasing charm. It doesn't win, but it becomes an instant fan favorite. Even Abby admits, "That was kind of adorable." And Kathy? She tears up. "That's my baby," she says. "And I wouldn't trade her for all the Maddies in the world." Cue the waterworks and applause. As the competitions keep rolling, Kathy's team places top 3 in 5 straight events. It's unheard of for her. The ALDC girls are feeling the pressure, and Abby? She's spiraling. Suddenly, she's changing choreography last minute, cutting solos, yelling more than usual, and blaming everyone but herself. "They're gunning for us," she warns. "We need to step it up." Meanwhile, Kathy's studio is thriving. Her moms are louder, prouder, and more confident than ever. They even chant CADC, ALDC, in the parking lot after a win. Abby storms by and mutters, "You'd think they won the Super Bowl." The final battle of the season is set. Both teams enter a group number. The twist? They both do pieces about betrayal. Abby's is dramatic and dark. Kathy's is sassy and savage. In Kathy's number, dancers literally mimic being stabbed in the back, and one wears a wig meant to look suspiciously like Abby's bob. No joke. It's the shadiest move yet. But Kathy doesn't care. Art imitates life, she winks. When the final scores roll in, it's a tie. Screams erupt. Abby demands a recount. Kathy claps like she just won a Grammy. No one walks away satisfied. But everyone knows one thing. The war isn't over. The candy apples aren't just here to compete. They're here to conquer. And in part 6, Kathy and her crew go even deeper into their bag of tricks. From dragging Abby in front of the judges to causing drama that literally stops the show. The CADC may not win every competition, but when it comes to chaos, they take first every time. Kathy loves a theme, and this time, she goes dark. Really dark. She choreographs a routine titled The Funeral, a slow, eerie contemporary piece about letting go of the past, complete with black veils, casket props, and dancers holding fake lilies. The lead soloist mimics climbing into her own coffin. Yes, really. The message? According to Kathy, it's a metaphor for burying the toxicity of the dance world. The ALDC moms are horrified. Is she calling Abby toxic? Jill asks. Duh. The judges are split. Some are deeply moved. Others find it too macabre. The routine takes second. But online? It goes viral for all the wrong reasons. People either call it artistic genius or a cringy funeral cosplay. Kathy doesn't care. At least people are talking about my dancers, she shrugs. In one of her sneakiest moves yet, Kathy brings in a guest consultant to help her team with stage presence and performance quality, Mark Lacasiak. Yes, Chloe's dad. Even though he's not officially working with ALDC anymore, Kathy uses his involvement to rile up the ALDC moms. Guess who doesn't want to be around Abby anymore? She purrs in a confessional. Chloe's family has taste. When Holly hears the news, she is fuming. This is an attack, she says. Kathy isn't recruiting talent. She's trying to weaponize old wounds. Later, Mark is seen quietly leaving the venue before awards. Abby refuses to acknowledge him. Kathy? She smiles like a cat with cream. Vivienne becomes a star on her own terms. For once, the spotlight swings fully to Vivienne, but not because of Kathy's pushing. During a behind-the-scenes moment, Vivi is caught freestyling in the hallway, goofing off with high kicks and hip-hop moves that shock even her teammates. Wait, when did Vivi get rhythm? One ADC mom gasps. Kathy watches the footage back and gives Vivi a solo. The title? Finally, a jazz funk piece that's all about breaking out and being seen. The crowd loves it. Vivi doesn't win, but she does get a standing ovation. Even Abby admits, that was the most alive I've ever seen her. Backstage, Kathy hugs her daughter and says, "You did that for you. Not for me. That's what counts." A rare moment of heart? From Kathy? Who is she? The tension between CADC and ALDC moms hits an all-time high when Kathy brings back Leslie, the hot-headed mom of Peyton. Yes, Peyton, the tall one Abby never liked. She's dancing as a guest for CADC this week, and Leslie's back in full, fiery form. At one point, Leslie and Jill get into it hard over who had a more trained daughter. Voices rise. Security edges closer. And then, Leslie tosses a drink at Jill. A full soda. On camera. Jill screams. Melissa gasps. Holly ducks. Leslie is escorted out. Kathy watches from the sidelines and mutters, "I told her not to bring Pepsi. We're a Diet Coke household." Afterward, Kathy releases a public apology, claiming the behavior doesn't reflect CADC values. But Peyton is mysteriously benched the next week. Kathy loves a good visual moment, but sometimes her ambition outweighs logic. In a number called Strings Attached, ADC dancers perform in full marionette costumes with actual strings connected to giant wooden crossbars. During rehearsal, it looks brilliant. On stage, chaos. One dancer's strings tangle with another's ankle, causing both to tumble mid-turn. Another's prop detaches completely and nearly hits a judge. Kathy is seen waving from the wings, panicking. The judges don't know whether to laugh or call OSHA. They place fourth, and Kathy blames the venue. These stages aren't made for innovation, she huffs. Abby cackles in the background. Innovation? Girl, that was a puppet massacre. In an unexpected twist, one competition introduces a bonus performance showdown round, a mix of lip sync, improv dance, and audience votes. Kathy is ecstatic. She assigns her dancers a dramatic group piece to Britney Spears' A Circus, complete with top hats and tiger whip props. Abby's team goes more elegant with a theatrical number to Defying Gravity. During the face-off, IFC goes full showbiz. Flips, facials, cartwheels, lip-syncing with attitude. The audience roars. Abby's girls are clean, but distant. CADC wins the round by fan vote. Abby is livid. This isn't RuPaul's Dance Race, she yells. It's a dance competition. Kathy smirks. Sounds like a sore loser to me. At another competition, Kathy's new contemporary piece titled Torn Pages receives harsh critique from the lead judge. The concept was unclear. The technique? Lacking. I expect more from a team this season. Kathy is stunned. Did they even watch the same performance? Afterward, Kathy storms into the judges' area and demands an explanation. I need to know what you were seeing because what we gave was art. The judge stands firm. You gave chaos. Backstage, Kathy vents. If you don't reward risk, you'll end up with robots. And I don't coach robots. The score stands. But the tension? Heavy. In a shocking interview clip that surfaced later, Kathy admits she almost left the show. After season 4, I told myself one more year. One more war with Abby. Then I'm done, she reveals. But then I saw what my dancers were becoming. Confident. Sharp. Respected. And I thought maybe the candy apples still have a story to tell. Fans were stunned. Kathy? Sentimental? Reflective? But don't worry, she ends the clip with, besides, who else is gonna make Abby cry in a parking lot? Iconic. At a major regional competition, Kathy enters an avant-garde jazz piece titled The Red Queen, a bold routine inspired by monarchy, power, and revenge. The lead dancer wears a massive red cape, a glittering crown, and ends the routine by decapitating a stuffed teddy bear representing betrayal. It is dramatic. It is weird. It is unforgettable. Clips flood TikTok. This is peak dance moms. One comment reads, Kathy went full Game of Thrones. Even Abby can't deny the impact. Was it good? Meh. But it got people talking. The number wins first place and a choreography award. Kathy takes a slow bow at awards and mouths to the camera. Long live the queen. As a final flex, Kathy rents a billboard outside an upcoming competition venue. The message? Welcome to the battlefield, Abby. Hope you brought tissues. Love. The candy apple's red heart, red apple. The ALDC moms are shocked. Abby refuses to even look at it. The billboard goes viral. Dance Moms fans drive past just to take photos. Some call it petty. Others call it legendary. Abby, of course, choreographs a number the next week titled Stay Classy. Kathy choreographs Cry About It. The rivalry? Still going strong. From prop disasters to billboard-level trolling, Part 6 proves that ADC isn't just back, they're thriving in their own chaotic way. Just when you think the candy apples might finally cool it, Kathy decides to crank the heat up even higher. Part 7 is pure chaos, complete with studio sabotage, shady guest stars, and a dance that leaves Abby speechless, and not in a good way. If Kathy has one motto, it's, why just compete when you can cause a scene? Underscore 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 underscore. Kathy brings in a guest choreographer, Abby's ex-assistant. This week, Kathy announces a surprise. She's not choreographing the group number herself. Instead, she introduces Gianna Martello's former assistant from ALDC's early seasons, someone who left on bad terms with Abby and knows all her methods. Let's call her Tina. Tina walks in with a clipboard, ballet flats, and a vengeance. I was under Abby's thumb too long. Now I'm here to show her what real technique looks like. The CADC moms love her. The routine she creates? A lyrical piece titled Break Free, about escaping control. The metaphor? Blatant. ALDC moms see the performance and nearly explode. She's using our choreography style against us. Holly gasps. Abby's face? Priceless. That's not homage. That's theft. Kathy wins third, but the real victory is in Abby's silent, seething rage. Underscore 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 underscore. The ALDC bus is mysteriously rerouted. It's competition day. The ALDC bus is late. Very late. Turns out someone accidentally gave the driver the wrong venue address. And guess who didn't get lost? The CADC. Suspicious? The moms think so. I'm not saying Kathy sabotaged us, Jill whispers. But I am saying she had a clipboard and a lot of free time at rehearsal. Abby storms in 15 minutes before call time. We don't need warm-ups to beat amateurs, she snaps. CADC places higher than ALDC in the group category. Coincidence? Or Kathy's craftiness? We may never know. But fans have theories. Underscore 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 underscore. Peyton returns again. This time with receipts. Peyton's back again. But this time with a twist. Her mom Leslie hands Kathy a USB drive and whispers, "There's footage Abby never aired. Use it wisely." Cut to Kathy watching what appears to be ALDC rehearsal footage showing Abby mocking Peyton's height and calling her a tree trunk. Kathy is delighted. Finally, the truth. Next week, the CACS group dance is called Out of the Shadows. The music? Haunting. The costumes? Long-legged, tree-like, ethereal. The message? Empowering tall girls. Fans pick up on the references immediately. This is Peyton's revenge arc, one tweet says. They place second. Abby is red-faced. And Leslie? She's back in Kathy's good graces. For now. Underscore 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 underscore. A CADC dancer quits on camera, and it gets messy. During a particularly stressful rehearsal, one of Kathy's longtime dancers, we'll call her Hannah, walks out mid-practice. She expects us to be perfect, but she doesn't even teach half the time, Hannah complains on camera. Kathy is furious. "You don't walk out on me. If you want to quit, make it official." So Hannah does, right then and there. But the drama doesn't end there. Kathy chases her into the parking lot, where Hannah's mom is waiting. The two get into a screaming match. "Your daughter is replaceable," Kathy shouts. "You're just mad she outgrew your drama," the mom fires back. Security steps in. Kathy re-enters the studio like nothing happened. And by the next morning, there's a new girl in Hannah's spot. Brutal. Underscore 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 underscore. Kathy tries an emotionally raw duet. That bombs. Trying to outdo Abby at her own game, Kathy assigns a duet called Mother, Forgive Me to two dancers with notoriously strict moms. The piece is intense. Think, sobbing on stage, crawling, screaming into silence. But here's the problem. The dancers aren't actors. They try their best, but the audience doesn't connect. It reads as awkward instead of emotional. The judges give it last place. Kathy blames the mothers for not raising emotionally intelligent children. One CADC mom bursts into tears. "You humiliate us." "You do." Kathy responds, "This isn't ballet class, it's reality TV." Ouch. Underscore 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 underscore. A guest judge calls Kathy out live. At a major regional, one of the guest judges is a former Broadway dancer who worked with Abby years ago. During critiques, she has a message. "I know Abby's style. I've danced her choreography. Kathy, you clearly choreographed this number as a response to her. That's not artistry. That's obsession." The room freezes. Kathy laughs nervously. Or maybe it's just competition. Backstage, the CADC moms are rattled. One whispers, "Are we just here to fuel her feud?" Kathy brushes it off. No press is bad press. Still, the words sting. Even Kathy's poker face wavers. Underscore 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 underscore. Kathy's dancers start to rebel. Week after week, the routines get more extreme, more thematic, more personal. One week it's about betrayal, the next week it's about war. And the dancers? They're exhausted. One quietly says in confessional, "Sometimes I just want to dance. Not make a statement. Just dance." Another adds, "Every number feels like we're fighting Abby. We're not even in the same room as her anymore." Kathy overhears and doubles down. "You don't win by playing it safe. If you want to twirl in a tutu, go join a recital." But the cracks are showing. And viewers are noticing. Underscore 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 underscore. In an attempt to diversify their style, Kathy hires a hip-hop choreographer from LA to train the CADC girls. The dance? A sassy street-style routine called "Drop That Crown." The problem? The dancers are not hip-hop trained, and it shows. One girl counts out loud during the performance. Another loses her hat mid-spin. Abby watches from the audience and doesn't even flinch. "This is why I don't do gimmicks," she mutters. The number places 6th. Kathy blames the choreographer and announces she's taking hip-hop off the table forever. Internet reaction? Mixed. Some fans say she never gave the girls a real chance. Others just post clips captioned "Yikes." Underscore 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 underscore. Shocking twist. One CDC mom, let's call her Diane, gets frustrated after another low placement and secretly reaches out to Abby. "I just want my daughter to have better opportunities," she says during a secretly filmed call. Abby meets with her and rejects her outright. "You think I want CADC leftovers? Please." Kathy finds out and explodes. She publicly kicks Diane and her daughter out of rehearsal. "If you want to defect, do it on your own time." Diane tries to defend herself, but Kathy is done. "You don't believe in the candy apples? Then get out of the orchard." Mic drop. You read that right. This group routine is based on scientific calculations behind revenge behavior. Costumes? Lab coats, goggles, glowing beakers. The music? A remix of classical strings with sci-fi bleeps and narration about dopamine and cortisol levels. Judges? Confused. Abby? Howling with laughter. The audience? Divided. "It's either genius or complete nonsense," one tweet says. There is no in-between. Kathy insists it's intellectual choreography. It places 5th. And gets a reaction video from an actual neuroscientist. Mission accomplished? Underscore 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 underscore. Conclusion. When will Kathy stop? Answer: never. At this point, this ADC isn't just a dance team. It's an entertainment empire fueled by rage, revenge, and rhinestones. Kathy's methods might be extreme. Her routines might border on unhinged. And her mom's? Constantly on edge. But there's no denying that Kathy has turned CADC into an unforgettable part of Dance Mom's history. She may not have Abby's trophies, but she has what matters most in reality TV. A storyline you just can't look away from. And with each new twist, prop, and costume meltdown, the candy apples keep proving one thing. If you thought Kathy had peaked, think again. Part 8 is full of the most outrageous candy apples moments yet, including a legal threat, a rivalry gone nuclear, and a routine so theatrical, it's banned from reperformance. At this point, Kathy isn't just competing with Abby. She's rewriting the rulebook and setting it on fire. Underscore. The drama kicks off with whispers in the hallway. Kathy sent Abby a cease and desist. According to the CADC moms, Kathy's team drafted a formal letter accusing Abby of defamation after she repeatedly called the CADC dancers garbage on national television. She's not just insulting me anymore, Kathy says in confessional. She's slandering children. The rumors spread fast. Abby claims she never received anything official, just some scrap of paper with Kathy's lipstick print on it. But the ALDC moms are spooked. If Kathy's playing the legal card now, what else is she capable of? Melissa asks. Later, the alleged document is revealed. Not a legal suit, but a formal warning Kathy paid a notary to stamp. Pure chaos. Underscore. CADC moms turn against each other over solo drama. In a rare moment of transparency, Kathy lets the CADC moms vote on which girl gets a solo for an upcoming televised event. It's between Jessica, a contemporary powerhouse, and Lena, Kathy's longtime favorite. Cue. Immediate disaster. Accusations fly. One mom claims Lena's mom has slept her way into solos, while another suggests Jessica buys votes with Duncan runs. By the end of the week, 3 moms have walked out, 2 girls are crying, and Kathy makes a surprise decision. Neither girl gets the solo. She gives it to a new dancer instead, one brought in from New York who hasn't been in any drama. The move stuns everyone, and cements Kathy's title as Queen of the Petty Plot Twist. It finally happens. Both teams accidentally book the same rehearsal space. Chaos erupts as CADC and ALDC walk into the same studio and refuse to leave. Abby stakes claim, "We had it first." Kathy pulls out an email. "Actually, I did." The moms start arguing. The dancers start stretching in opposite corners, and producers? Thrilled. Eventually, the 2 teams are forced to rehearse side by side for 1 full day. It's tense, dramatic, and deeply awkward, especially when Kathy's dancers purposely upstage Abby's group mid-run-through. At one point, Abby whispers to Gianna, "Get a fog machine. If they want war, we'll give them Broadway-level war." Only on Dance Moms. This week's theme? Speak Now. Kathy wants to make a statement, and she goes all in with a routine about media manipulation and free speech. The number involves dancers miming censorship, wearing tape over their mouths, and throwing news headlines across the stage. The final pose features a dancer lifting a truth sign while the others collapse dramatically. The audience is stunned. One judge calls it brave. Another calls it inappropriate. The routine wins third, but the competition director later bans Kathy from reperforming the piece due to its political undertones. Kathy? Ecstatic. Banned? That means it was important. She frames the score sheet. A CADC dancer goes rogue on stage. During a group dance called Strings of Deception, one of Kathy's most polished dancers, Alyssa, throws in an unscripted triple pirouette mid-routine. The move is stunning. The crowd loves it. But Kathy? Livid. You just made the entire formation collapse. That dance was designed to be symmetrical. Alyssa fires back. I saved that number. It was boring. A huge fight erupts backstage. Kathy threatens to cut Alyssa from the next group dance. Alyssa shrugs. Maybe I'm just too good for this team. The other moms gasp. The camera zooms in on Kathy's face. And just like that, another defection may be brewing. Kathy's secret weapon, a guest star from Broadway. At the next competition, Kathy unveils a guest dancer from actual Broadway, a former child star turned teen prodigy named Drew who's home for the summer. Drew joins the CADC for 1 week and headlines a jazz fusion piece titled Stage Fright. It's theatrical, electric, and nearly flawless. When Drew wins top overall, beating out ALDC's top soloist, Abby loses it. She brought in a professional. That's cheating. Kathy just smiles. I brought in a winner. Sorry, your studio doesn't do that anymore. Abby storms out. Kathy and Drew curtsy together at awards. Underscore 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 underscore. The infamous spy cam incident. A tech-savvy CADC dad installs a hidden GoPro in a rehearsal space to capture behind-the-scenes improvements. What he captures instead? Private ALDC rehearsal footage. Somehow, a video of Maddie's choreography ends up leaking, and Kathy's team uses similar transitions in their routine the following week. Abby notices immediately. She confronts Kathy backstage and shouts, "You're stealing. Again." Kathy plays dumb. We all pull inspiration from somewhere. The CADC dad later confesses and is banned from competitions for a season. Kathy disavows him completely. I didn't ask for that. But thanks for the tape. The scandal rocks both teams. Underscore 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 underscore. A rare moment of vulnerability. Kathy cries on camera. During a confessional, Kathy watches old clips of herself and Vivienne from season 1. When producers ask what she regrets most, Kathy doesn't hesitate. I regret not stepping back sooner and letting Vivi just be a kid. I tried to mold her into something she wasn't. That's on me. Tears fall. For real. It's a vulnerable moment. One that surprises even the moms watching from the green room. Kathy has feelings? Jill asks. Is this a trick? But it's genuine. And for a moment, even the audience softens toward the candy apple queen. Underscore 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 underscore. Vivienne's comeback solo shocks the judges. After that emotional moment, Kathy gives Vivienne another solo, her first in nearly a year. The piece is titled Unfinished Business. It's not flashy, it's not overly technical, but it's raw, honest, and deeply personal. Vivi surprises everyone, including Kathy, with how poised she is. She wins third in her division, beating out a few ALDC dancers along the way. Afterwards, Kathy hugs her and whispers, "That was you. That was all you." In the confessional, Kathy tears up again. I didn't need a trophy today. Just proof that she still loves it. Fans online? Crying. This is Vivi's redemption arc. One user posts. Underscore 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 underscore. Kathy's final trick this season? A fake ALDC invite. In the finale of this arc, Kathy goes full troll. She creates a fake flyer for a fictional ALDC masterclass event and mails it to local studios with Abby's face photoshopped holding a cancelled sign. The rumor spreads fast. Is ALDC shutting down? Abby finds out and files a complaint with the competition board, claiming brand misuse and slander. Kathy defends herself on camera. It was a joke. Nobody has a sense of humor anymore. But the damage is done. Tension between the teams reaches an all-time high, and the season ends with Kathy smiling at the camera, saying, "See you next year. Same feud, new tricks." Underscore 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 underscore. Conclusion: the CAC's legacy of chaos is sealed. With legal threats, spy cams, diva solos, and duets gone rogue, Part 8 proves once again, this ADC doesn't know how to quit. And honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way. Kathy's tactics may be questionable. Her routines? Polarizing. Her moms? Constantly flipping. But there's no denying that the Candy Apples remain the most unhinged, unpredictable, and unforgettable rivals the ALDC has ever faced. And as long as Kathy has glitter, grudges, and an audience, the apples will always keep falling. Just when you think Kathy can't possibly escalate the drama any further, she gets international. In Part 9, the Candy Apples go global, go viral, and go completely unhinged. Abby's stress level? Through the roof. The CAC's reputation? Loud, proud, and unbothered. This chapter proves that the Candy Apples aren't just local legends, they're coming for world domination. Underscore 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 underscore. CADC goes international. Operation London Apple. Kathy shocks her team by announcing their first international competition, a prestigious dance festival in London. She calls it Operation London Apple. The moms are thrilled. The dancers are terrified. And the ALDC? Shocked they weren't invited first. Kathy's mission: we're not just representing this ADC anymore, we're representing America. But with better hair and louder rhinestones. Her team trains in ballet, etiquette, and even fake British accents, just for fun. One mom brings scones to rehearsal. Kathy wears a fascinator to practice. The energy is unhinged, but focused. Underscore 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 underscore. British judges, American drama. At the London competition, the CADC performs a contemporary piece titled Rebellion of the Royals, a dramatic satire on monarchy and power. The costumes? Corsets, crowns, and ripped tights. The music? A classical meets pop remix. The drama? Off the charts. One British judge loves it, daring, bold, refreshingly political. Another calls it tacky Americana. CADC places second. Backstage, Kathy celebrates like they've won gold. If we're offending people, it means we're interesting. Meanwhile, a British mom whispers to another, "Are they always like this?" Yes. Yes, they are. Underscore 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 underscore. Vivienne goes viral for the weirdest reason. While in London, Vivienne gets filmed eating a crumpet on the competition floor in full costume, with the crown still on. She doesn't realize she's being filmed. She's just hungry. But the video goes viral on TikTok. The caption? "When you slay the monarchy and the snack table." Vivi becomes a meme. Fans repost the clip with soundtracks ranging from God Save the Queen to Fancy by Iggy Azalea. Even Kathy gets in on the joke, making t-shirts that say crumpets and choreography. Vivi is mortified. Kathy is thriving. Underscore 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 underscore. A guest dancer sparks jealousy again. For their international showcase, Kathy invites a UK-based guest dancer named Ruby, who trained at the Royal Ballet. She's elegant, controlled, and terrifyingly perfect. The CADC girls are instantly on edge. We've been here for years and she gets the solo? Kathy doesn't care. She's the most trained dancer in this room. They perform a haunting duet called Two Queens, One Throne. It's a massive hit, until Ruby accidentally trips on stage. Kathy blames the other girl. She threw off the spacing. Backstage tension explodes. Ruby goes home early, and the Candy Apple girls high-five in secret. Underscore 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 underscore. Kathy's press conference goes off the rails. After the London performance, Kathy hosts an impromptu press conference outside the venue with one local blogger and two dance moms filming on iPhones. She declares the Candy Apples have officially conquered the UK. Abby who? Then she accidentally drops her trophy, and it shatters. One of the moms mutters, "That's a sign." Kathy doesn't miss a beat. Even our wins explode with impact. The clip makes it to international dance blogs. Abby allegedly tells producers, "Let her have her British moment. It's the only crown she'll ever wear." The feud goes global. Underscore 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 underscore. CADC tries ballroom. It's a glitter disaster. Kathy decides to expand her brand with a ballroom number called Tango of Tension. The concept? Emotional ballroom fusion with intense eye contact and dramatic spins. The results? Chaotic. The girls are not ballroom trained, the heels don't fit, and one dancer slides off stage during the opening turn. Kathy is furious. We were this close to reinventing ballroom. Abby watches the routine from her hotel room and just posts a single tweet. LOL. Woman dancing skull. The clip gets turned into a reaction meme. Kathy bans ballroom until further notice. Underscore 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 underscore. The Candy Apples crash a red carpet, uninvited. While in London, Kathy hears about a dance documentary premiere featuring international youth dancers. She grabs the CADC girls, throws them in matching red outfits, and shows up at the event uninvited. Security is confused. Cameras flash anyway. Kathy tries to give interviews. One reporter asks if they're part of the documentary. Kathy, no, but we should be. Eventually, they're escorted off the carpet. Kathy calls it a pop-up publicity stunt. The moms call it completely humiliating. The internet? Obsessed. Kathy storming a red carpet like it's a regional comp is iconic. Underscore 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 underscore. Back home, Abby responds with a petty masterpiece. Back in the US, Abby choreographs a new group dance for the ALDC titled Return of the Crown. It's a not-so-subtle dig at Kathy's Royal Rebellion number. The music includes a voiceover of someone saying copycats can't sit on real thrones. The ALDC dancers wear gold capes and fake British accents. The final pose? Them stepping on apples. Kathy sees it on TV and assurance. They choreographed an entire dance just to mock us? Yes. Yes, they did. And yes, it wins first place. Kathy vows revenge. Underscore 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 underscore. Kathy tries a tribute routine, and it backfires. Hoping to reclaim the narrative, Kathy choreographs a tribute piece called Legacy about the journey of the CADC. It features old choreography, flashback costumes, and even a moment where a dancer pretends to put on Kathy's iconic red glasses. The concept is sweet. The execution? Sloppy. The girls forget the order. One loses a shoe. Kathy's voiceover plays too early. She's devastated. They ruin my story. My legacy. Backstage, Kathy cries behind her giant red sunglasses. Maybe I've been pushing too hard. Even the moms look uncomfortable. For once, there's no screaming. Just silence. Underscore 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 underscore. Until the next week, Kathy snaps back into chaos. The very next episode, Kathy walks into rehearsal with a tray of cupcakes, a new guest choreographer from Vegas, and a fresh theme. The show must go on. She's energized, wild-eyed, ready to forget London and focus on revenge. The moms? Nervous. The girls? Already sweating. Kathy shouts, "Let's remind Abby Lee who the real queen is." This isn't her world anymore. It's the Candy Apple Kingdom now. And just like that, she's back. Underscore 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 underscore. Conclusion: Kathy can take the drama anywhere. Whether she's in Ohio, London, or a random red carpet in another country, Kathy's brand of chaos knows no borders. She may not have Abby's studio. She may not have all the wins. But she will have the spotlight, even if she has to hijack it. From viral Vivienne memes to rejected ballroom numbers to international meltdowns, this ADC continues to prove. They don't just survive the drama, they fuel it. And in part 10, Kathy plans a full-blown musical theater number to expose Abby's true character, and it includes a courtroom scene. Red Apple Balance Scale, Performing Arts.